Hey guys, welcome to my basement. So, love to be there with everybody and show you guys this in person, but unfortunately with the current pandemic, this is the way we're going to have to do this, I guess, and decided to make a short video and go over some tips and suggestions on how to gap a spark plug and why we gap a spark plug. So what I have here, a spark plug. I have two different style gappers, probably even more than this out there, but this is what I have here. This would be called a wire type gap tool, where you would slide the wire in. This I would call maybe a ramp type, slide type. It's got all the numbers on it. You would put the spark plug in it, turn it till it reaches its maximum gap. So we'll go over that in a second. I have a brand new spark plug here, NGK BR8ES out of my son's dirt bike. It's a 2000 YZ80. The manufacturer spec on the YZ80 is 35 thousandths. So they do come pre-gapped, but this spark plug fits a lot more models than a YZ80, so you do need to check it and make sure it is going to be gapped to the specification of what you'll be putting it in. So we'll take our spark plug. I can try the wire type first. Now our specification for the YZ80 was 35 thousandths. The gap tool, I don't know if it'll come out in the video, but our gap tool has all the numbers on it. The smallest wire on this gap tool is a 40 thousandths right here. So our gap specification is 35 thousandths. So it doesn't really help us, but you can see a 40 thousandths wire does not fit. So it is smaller than 40 thousandths. The ramp type tool starts at 20 thousandths right there and goes all the way up to, looks like it goes all the way up to 100 thousandths, 0.1. So what you'll do with the ramp type, holding your spark plug upside down, you'll start at the smallest part and you'll slide this along until it gets just a little bit of drag. You don't want to force it. And looking at our gap here on this spark plug, it is currently set at 30 thousandths. So we need a little bit more. Too little gap, you can see the gap in this film, in the picture here, if the gap was too small, you would have a weak spark and it might not be strong enough to light the fuel mixture. If the gap was too large, it may not have a strong enough voltage to send the current through, send the voltage through, and if it's too big of a gap, the spark might never jump the gap, and therefore not making a spark and not making power with your engine, causing a misfire. Or it could also wear out the ignition coil by pushing too much voltage through the spark plug and having to jump that gap. It could actually damage the ignition system or the coil. So proper gap is important. So like I said, we're at 30 thousandths. We're going to use the gap opener right here. We're going to fit the spark plug into there with the electrode. The ground electrode is inside of the hole. And we're just going to gently pry that open, a little bit at a time. And every time you adjust it, you're going to come back and check it. So we're close. If you can see there, we're probably about 37 thousandths. So I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. That would probably be okay, but we're going to go ahead and get this thing set right at the spec of 35 thousandths. Now, since I went too far, what we need to do is we're going to use the tool and a little bit of pressure, and we're just going to apply pressure and squeeze this right down again. Okay, give it a little bit of pressure, slide it in, and now we're right on. 35 thousandths, right on the spec. That's the proper way to gap a spark plug. Thanks.